Strike action by the Teachers Union has been called off. Thank you for joining us for this Thursday, September 6th edition of InfoHub. Still in the headlines, President Granger to open Council of Legal Education conference tomorrow. Continuous operating reference stations vital to government's vision of ordered and sustainable land use. And consultations start for Budget 2019. Those are our top stories, the details and more right now. Strike action by the Guyana Teachers Union has been called off following major conciliation talks with the Education Ministry. Additionally, the two have decided to go to arbitration. More in this report.
The two sides met today at the Ministry of Social Protection's Department of Labor, where they signed the terms of resumption. Today's arbitration move brings an immediate end to the GTU's industrial action, which lasted 4 days into the new school term. GTU President Mark Light.
Immediately, we have signed on to terms of resumption that the union will be calling the strike off with immediate effect for those teachers who can resume duty tomorrow. But we are sure that full resumption will be on Monday. Right? On Monday, all teachers will be returning to work, but those who can for tomorrow will be returning tomorrow.
The terms of resumption signed between the two bodies states that the union will ensure that there is full resumption of work at all schools from Monday, September 10. 24 hours after the full resumption of duties by teachers, the GTU and the ministry will meet to determine the terms of reference for the arbitration panel as guidance to the Memorandum of Understanding between the GTU and the Education Ministry. The terms of resumption also states that there will be no victimization on either side, there will be no loss of pay or seniority, and that the status quo will prevail. The Guyana Teachers Union had proposed a 40% increase in salary for 2016, 45% in 2017, 50% in 2018, 50% in 2019, and 50% in 2020. These were to be granted to all categories of teachers for the years 2016 through 2020. However, the Education Ministry's counterproposal had made available $700 million to facilitate salary increases for all teachers based on the current salary scale and the previously proposed $200 million for the bunching for 2018. Unlike conciliation, arbitration is an alternative dispute resolution where an independent third party will decide on the issue. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu this morning received a courtesy call from CEO Boris Espinel and Legal Compliance Director Fernando Victoria of the Bogota-based international call center Teleperformance. The Camp Street Georgetown-based center has hired about 600 Guyanese, valued for their fluency in English. Teleperformance hopes to employ some 20,000 persons locally over the next 5 years. President David Granger is expected to officially open the Council of Legal Education conference at the Marriott Hotel tomorrow. The first set of consultations on the 2019 national budget got underway today at the Ministry of Finance. First up was the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana. Details in this report.
The positive impact of tourism on the economy was under discussion this morning when Junior Minister of Finance Jaipal Sharma met with the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana TAG. They met as the first budget consultation for 2019 got underway at the Ministry of Finance. TAG's President Mitra Ramkumar suggested that tourism be seen as a pillar of development since it is the solution to the economy's diversification.
Tourism is the answer to diversifying this economy because it's sustainable, because if we want to build a sustainable industry, and if we're really looking at a strategy that takes us into 2040, I'm saying tourism has to be in the forefront.
Junior Minister of Finance Jaipal Sharma said the tourism and hospitality sector is one of the many industries the government has been placing emphasis on.
You need many other things like airstrip and so on. And so we would focus on tourism in that aspect. But you did mention some direct way in which we could show our support for the industry. And you also indicated some areas in which we already had shown our support for the industry, but for some reason you did not benefit it.
Minister Sharma said much of the proposals put forward by the Tourism Authority are potentially helpful. While he supports them, the fiscal constraints of the economy will be used to match the proposals. Officials of the Guyana Trade Union Congress and the Federation of Independent Trade Unions of Guyana also met with ministry officials today. Similar consultations are planned with other organizations and political parties over the coming days. Budget 2090 will be presented by Finance Minister Winston Jordan in November. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Hello, sir. You can't be smoking with passengers in the car. I got me little child in there. I mean, I can't smoke in your own car.
You know it's against the law for taxi drivers and minibus drivers to smoke, especially when you got a child under 16 in the car.
You know, like you could come out my car, man.
Just to let you know, the law states that even if you're in a car alone, you can't smoke because the fumes can get into the fabric and affect your passengers.
Let's all work together to prevent cigarette smoking-related illnesses.
Welcome back. In response to the influx of Venezuelan migrants here, the Civil Defense Commission, CDC, in collaboration with the Department of Citizenship and the International Organization for Migration, IOM, today conducted a workshop aimed at training service providers on international best practice in assisting migrants. The workshop was held in CDC's Thomas Lance Office's conference room. The workshop saw the participation of representatives from several agencies and ministries, including the Ministry of the Presidency, Guyana Defense Force, Ministries of Indigenous Peoples Affairs and Foreign Affairs, and the Guyana Police Force. Continuous operating reference stations are vital to the government's vision of ordered and sustainable land use within the framework of the Green State Development Strategy. Minister of State Joseph Harmon explains in this report.
The closing ceremony for the third in a series of workshops on the use of the recently rehabilitated CORS network was held at the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission's training room earlier today. Minister of State Joseph Harmon said the $93 million investment is in keeping with the government's vision of orderly and sustainable land use.
The CORS network will also be an important tool for efficiently dealing with the inevitable increase in demand for state lands, for the extensive developments that are taking place and are expected to take place as a result of revenue inflows from our oil and gas production in the near future.
The Minister of State explained that the CORS network will add efficacy to the GLSC's management of the nation's land resources.
The government regards the establishment of the CORS network in Guyana as a very important development which will enable the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission to fulfill one of the main aspects of its mandate, which is to execute or cause to be executed geodetic, topographic, hydrographic, and cadastral surveys in relation to the land and water resources of Guyana.
According to Manager of Information Systems at GLSC, David Cole, of the previously established 8 CORS systems, there are 2 which have been made operable in Georgetown and New Amsterdam, with Linden soon to come on stream. The restoration of the remaining stations will be completed by the end of the year. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Conservation International Guyana today launched the El Dorado Gold Project, working with stakeholders in the artisanal and small gold mining sector to reduce the use of mercury in mining.
Conservation International Guyana, in collaboration with the Global Environmental Facility, launched the El Dorado Gold Project. Conservation International Guyana, GEF Gold Project Director Ingrid Sarabo, said it is a supply chain approach, one of 2 major projects aimed at eliminating mercury in Guyana's artisanal, small and medium gold mining sector.
The Global Environment and Facility component of the Responsible Mining Initiative, to which Curtis spoke a short while ago, seeks to guide the transition to mercury-free mining and promote the adoption of environmentally friendly approaches to mining in Guyana's ASGM sector.
The launch of this project comes a few weeks after the Ministry of Natural Resources met with regulatory agencies, mining organizations, and international partners to discuss furtherance of the Minamata Convention on Mercury. Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman stated that the initiative has government's full support.
We have a simple and threefold approach. One, we believe that we should not make it easy to access mercury. That is not to say that we are going to make it difficult we're not going to make it easy for you. We are working with the EPA, the GGMC, and the Pesticides and Toxic Chemicals Control Board, along with the Ministry of Natural Resources, to ensure that mercury cannot and should not enter into our country in the manner in which it did decades ago.
This $1.2 billion project will work with artisanal and small-scale miners in Regions 8 and 9 to achieve mercury-free mining by 2025. The World Wildlife Fund will be collaborating with the French Global Environment Facility to work with the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission to align with the Minamata Convention. Through this project, there will be demonstrations of mercury-free extraction models and sharing of mercury data on a regional level. For InfoHub, Inara Khan.
Residents of Peters Hall Housing Scheme will benefit from major infrastructural works expected to be completed by November 2018. Seneca Thorne has the details.
The works in Peters Hall Phase 2 East Bank Demerara includes construction of roads and drainage, land preparation, and the installation of electrical and water distribution systems. Minister Adams Patterson Yearwood, who visited the area today, explained that these works are being executed in 4 lots.
We have the development being done in 4 sections, which means 4 different contractors are working on the infrastructure. We're currently doing the roads, and after that, we have the water and the electricity to put in.
Works on Lot 3 of the project is being executed by Guyamerica Construction Incorporated at an estimated cost of $79.5 million. According to Minister Adams Patterson Yearwood, these works were initially to be completed this month but had to be rescheduled to November.
We have now rescheduled to November. So I would like all the persons who were allocated to know that we cannot meet the September deadline, but we are going to have the lots available by November.
Of the 400 lots allotted, 6 are commercial and the remainder are residential and residential commercial. Some of these allottees were in the system as far back as 1995. Once the infrastructural development is completed, persons are expected to start the construction of their homes and businesses. The Central Housing and Planning Authority is executing similar works in Providence on the East Bank Demerara and Commons Lodge in Greater Georgetown. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
The launch of the Eyes That Look at the Sky Chilean Craft exhibition on Wednesday evening highlights and brings the cultural and artisan heritage of Chile to Guyana, according to Chilean Ambassador Claudio Rojas. Here's our final report.
We are proud as a nation and as a country, and we come here to Guyana as a nation and as a country, and that's why every time that we have an opportunity to make cultural activities here in Guyana related with the National Day, it's a way to get closer and to foster the ties between Chile and Guyana. But it's not just the ties between government to government. We are making an effort to make ties people to people.
Ambassador Rojas highlighted the exhibition's launch coincides with Chile's International Day of Indigenous Women. This, he said, provided an opportunity for students and members of the public to attend a 2-day workshop facilitated by artist Julia Hotas.
During these next 2 days, Julita will remain here and she will carry on some workshops with local indigenous people from Guyana and also with some students. So with that, we are honoring also the Aboriginal people of Guyana, the indigenous people of Guyana, in our national month of September.
The exhibition, Matiki Rangi, was showcased in Chile between July 2015 and June 2016, where it was visited by more than 92,000 people. In 2018, the show left Chilean shores to begin a tour facilitated by the Directorate of Cultural Affairs of the Foreign Affairs Ministry and the embassies of Chile in Guatemala, Guyana, and Honduras. For InfoHub, Inara Khan.
Bad news for cricket fans. The Amazon Warriors suffered a devastating loss last evening. Here's a look at the latest CPL match results and your bridge and weather reports. Goodbye.
I'm ready for the competition. You know.